Hi, so I'm going to make a small video about how to use the Pearson website. Right now I'm logged into Canvas as a student, so I'm not going to see the full menus. I'm seeing the same window as you see. The only thing that you're not going to see is if when I click here on myLab and Mastering, I already logged in once as a student. So sorry, if you click here once the first time, it will prompt you to a window that asks you to accept their terms and services. You have to click OK and move on. Then it asks you to log in either using your existing Pearson account, if you already have one from any past Pearson product. And if you don't, then you can create an account right there on the spot. It's very easy. After that, it asks you to enter an access code if you have one, or to purchase right there. I think it's about $105 for the access. So I would recommend that you purchase it directly there, because if you buy an access code from elsewhere, I don't know, students have found issues by doing that. It should work in theory. The problem is that I think that sometimes that access code is from a different version or too old or something. So it might save you 15 or 20 bucks, but it might take you into trouble. So the best option is to purchase right there on the spot. If you read carefully, you can, in the bottom, it's going to say an option to log in access for 14 days free of charge. You can do that right away and have access immediately, and then you have 14 days to enter the payment. Sorry, I can't show you those windows because I did that to test, and now I can't do it again. So if I log in right now, it's just going to log in back into how you will see it after that. But okay, that part is basically between you and Pearson, and it's basically the same as going to the bookstore and buying your book, right? You purchase your book that way online. So I want to show you what happens if you click in here. So there are two links. One says all assignments. The other one says the course home. If you click on all assignments, it's going to take. The first thing to notice is that it opened a new window. In my case, a new tab. So here I have. This is the one I click on this one, and it opened a new tab in my browser. So, and then you're going to be working on this one, and everything will show up in this website, in this tab, and you're working here. So this is how you see the homework. You will see these are the assignments that are open right now. So these two, the first two assignments, 1.1 and 1.2, are due Wednesday. They're available today. 1.3 and 2.1 are due Saturday. Usually in the past, I was doing, like, for example, these two sections posted today and available Wednesday, sorry, due on Wednesday. But then these two were hidden for students, and I would not make them available until Wednesday, and then they will be due on Saturday. But a couple of students, well, a few, like a couple every quarter, tell me that this didn't work for them because they had probably Tuesdays off when they went to do all the math work, or a lot of work, as much as they could. So it was hard for them to work on these deadlines Thursday and Fridays. So I'm making them all available right now, but just recognize that always these two are due on Wednesday, and then these two are due on Saturday. Okay. Sometimes these will show up on Tuesday morning. I just do that so that I really want you guys to focus on the first two sections of the first day, and maybe the next day if you're already ahead of those. I think you have enough um, uh, material to get busy on Monday. Then on Tuesday I'll make these available, but Tuesday through Saturday is still a lot of time to finish these. Now, something to be aware of, this is not the homework that's all due this week, because what is not showing here is the quiz and the problem of the week. So be careful. If you want to see all the assignments that are due this week, this is not the right place to do it. If you log in on Friday or Saturday, a quiz is going to pop up here, okay? But you're not seeing it today. If you go to in Canvas, if you want to see all the assignments, you can go to the syllabus page. Remember that this is apart from the syllabus and these documents up here, it shows all the details of all the assignments in this list right here. Right. So you have these two assignments that are due on Wednesday. You have the syllabus quiz, which is not showing up on the other website because this is internal in Canvas. This is due on Friday. And then you have these that are due on Saturday, and then the Monday quiz. This one is not available until, I don't recall if it's Friday or Saturday, but you can't see it over there until it shows up, okay? So be aware that this is where you can see what's going on. Another way to know what's going on in your week is always go to the modules, and I'm posting here everything that's due on Monday, right? So here we have the syllabus quiz, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, and 2-1. There's one more thing that is not posted yet. I'll post it between tomorrow and Wednesday. Is the first set of problems of the week that will also show up here under week 1. Okay, so not everything is over here. This is just the part of the online homework, okay, and the quizzes. So be careful with that. Okay, so this tells me to the homework directly, but I kind of sometimes I feel like this is a bad approach. Sometimes some students like to just jump to the homework and do work on problems. And I didn't show you, but if you click on there and you do a problem, then it says always like do a similar example or try a similar example. And most students, in my experience, just love this where you go and do, they don't open the book, they don't open the videos, they just go to do examples, to work problems, and they copy the steps from a similar example. So whenever you're doing a homework problem, it's going to say like try a similar example, and you try a different example, which is basically the same problem with different numbers. So you try the same steps, and then you copycat those steps into your problem, and you get the problem correct. That is a little bit of fooling yourself, because you're not really learning or understanding the steps or the concepts. And that's not going to work for the written midterm and final, right? Because I'm in the midterm and the final, I have the freedom to post a question which has the same concepts, but it's not written in exactly the same form as the online homework or quizzes. So you cannot follow the exact steps 1 to 5 to finish that problem. So be careful. Learning by example is not the best. You still have to understand the concepts and be able to answer questions that do not follow those same examples. So it's a good resource, but that should not be your only resource. Okay, so I want to emphasize that jumping to homework is not the best way to understand what's going on. The best way would be as a regular class. Sorry, so I clicked on the second tab, which is myStatLab course home, and it takes me to this one. So, and this gives you a broader menu. The course home has a little bit of a calendar and a little bit of the due dates and stuff. But what I wanted to show you is that if you go to homework, you see exactly the same tab as before. So if I could, I would hide this this button, this link up here, but I can't. This is from Pearson. Because then you go in here, and this is the same tab as you were seeing over there. But here, if you go to a couple of things, one, if you go to the chapter contents, this is your textbook. Okay, so this is a textbook. This is where you would see everything from your book. If you go to chapter 1, this is your book. You can go to the chapter opener here, or you can go through the sections on this side. And if I'm opening the ebook, and the ebook takes a little bit to load. I'm at home, so my internet is pretty fast, but it's not the best. And here it is. So this is the same book that you would get if you purchase a hard copy. That's why some students don't buy a hard copy if you're okay doing this. Of course, like if you have a weekend like this weekend where there was no internet or the site was down, then you're a little bit stuck. But I can adjust. If this happens during the quarter, I can adjust the due dates and move things around. But so some people want to have access to this offline, so that's totally up to you. So you can go here and go through the book and and this is the same book as you're going. After a little while, you learn how to navigate. This is a forward, and this is a page, next page. If you click on this part over here, it's the same book as before. Yeah. Something that I want to show you is that you can be here, and I can, for example, every section starts with a little camera. This is the lecture of that section. So what you need to know is that if you are in Canvas and in modules, under my week 1 overview, I say clearly that for Wednesday 1-1 and 1-2 are due. I have no way to make a link here directly to the videos, but what you should do is go here, probably to the Pearson text, and open the video, read the book, or go through the video, and this is a video that shows up from.
During this session, we're going to look at some of the basic ideas dealing with statistics. Let's look at our first objective now.
So this is the video for the first section. It's about 6 minutes long. In general, these are like between, I don't know, 5 to 15 minutes. You're never going to find a 50-minute lecture on one section. So listening to the lecture will help you. I mean, and you should probably, I mean, the best scenario would be that you have a notebook like you had in a regular class. You make notes from the lectures. You probably make notes if you read the book, copy definitions, something. Be aware that, again, like I said before, I think I posted in the syllabus, when you do the quiz, you're going to be a little bit rushed of time if you have not practiced enough. So be sure that for a quiz, in a regular quiz, if in a regular class, I would allow you to have a page of notes for your quizzes. And here, you can do that too. You should probably have a page of notes ready with all the definitions that are covered that week. So when you do the quiz, you know exactly. You just refer to that sheet of paper only, and you don't feel like you have to still open the book or go to example stuff like that, because then you're not going to feel that you have enough time to complete the quiz. Okay, so this is every section has a little video, a little section lecture. So if you go to section 1.2, you have a little video lecture here. You click on it. Okay.
During this session, we're going to look at how we can.
So I'm going to close this. I want to show you something else. Is that these little links here are animations. U-try. Sorry, this is a U-try, and a U-try is like a problem that, okay, you cover an example and you do a little example on your own. It tells you, okay, you did an example. Let's see if you understand what's going on. Answer question here, and check if you got it right or wrong. Okay, so it's a little check if you just read. It's a like interactive way of reading the book. You would read a book and then click here on the U-try and say, okay, I got it. So then you move on, and you might have skipped the example and go to the next one and say, well, I read this new definition. I have another U-try. You click on that one, and you can see if you're understanding basically of the book. So it's a very interactive way to read a book, but you should probably be reading the book before you do the homework. Okay. Something else that I want to show you is that if you are here on your myStatLab menu, so I access those by clicking here on the chapter contents. Okay. Now I'm going to click on the multimedia library. If you don't want to go to the book, you can directly go here and say, I want to look at section 1, 1.2, and I want to look at the section video and the animations. And that way you can skip the book part and say, oh, here it is. Here is what I can watch the video of 1.2. So it's a little bit of a shortcut to go to the videos if you want. And you can make this full screen, of course, by making it here. Okay. Something else is that if you want to go to, for example, if you want to go to 1.1 and do some animations. Sorry, these are the ones I think that I saw before. Let me see if I do here, and I do. How would I do all sections? I'll do these. You might see some of these animations that are going to work for them. I'm going to click on this one.
There are 5 tennis teams in the Middlewood League, with each team consisting of 5 players. A sporting goods company has donated 5 new tennis rackets, and the league director has to figure out how to distribute the donations.
So this is a interactive animation. So they read the little context, and then you click on next, and it will follow through.
There are 2 options.
And in a little bit, they're going to ask you to answer
the director can
some
group
questions.
all of the tennis players with
So
Plan
I'm
B.
going to close this. Okay, so these are some animations that are going to work. Now, a little warning is that in a major update like this weekend, when they updated some stuff, sometimes some of these animations are lagged in the sense that they may have moved them to a new Java coding, and some of them might not work on your browser. Most of them should be working, but if some of them don't work, don't panic. I recommend you that you always update the Java. You have to update your browser. You have to allow third-party cookies. You have to allow pop-ups. And maybe you want to have, I don't know, a separate browser where you have these settings and different than the one you use every day. If you don't want to have pop-ups, you don't want to allow cookies and all that stuff, because some of these things will not work if you don't allow pop-ups or cookies or you don't have the latest plugins. So be sure that everything is up to date in the browser you're going to use for this class.